All right, so today is a work day, actually, and I'm gonna be on the plasma table making some orders today, but at the same time, while that cuts, I can still finish working up on parts of the dually. It's just a really nasty day today. And my shop is kind of close to flooding, again. Yeah, a lot of standing water out here. But the good news, you guys remember that trough that I dug? It's actually done a great job of keeping the water out of my shop, and I haven't flooded since. So that's great. I remember when I dug that trench originally, there was a bunch of pro hole diggers that they told me I was digging holes wrong. Welcome to the internet, the only place to ever tell you that you're gonna dig a hole wrong. But I actually have a lot of plates to make, and I'm not gonna go into that today, but I am gonna say this. I order my metal by the sheet because that's what I need, so I get these 4 foot by 8 foot sheets. Usually they're hot rolled, which they're just a little bit weaker than cold rolled, but they definitely sent me cold rolled this time. Usually hot rolled is, it's got a lot of this darker scale on it, that's why it's that color. And cold rolled is usually this color because it doesn't have to heat up and it doesn't deform the metal at all, but they sent me cold rolled, so that's cool. So like the next 100 or so orders that I get will all have cold rolled stuff, which is cool, right? It just be a little bit stronger. You'll never notice the difference. And then I also ordered this dumb fucking thing, which is another sheet of metal. And you're probably thinking, oh damn, that's not that big of a deal, but look at the thickness of it. This is 3/16 for my front bumper of the dually and the rear. Originally when I made this one, I believe this one was made out of pretty much, I think this was 16 gauge, which is, it's too thin for an off-road bumper, which is why it got all fucking bent and kinkered when I went to go rip down the room in my shop, so. Now, for some reason, my GoPro's microphone audio just cut out completely. So here's what's gonna happen. Before we get working, I have a quick word from our sponsor, then we're gonna get to work. We're gonna work on some of the battery and electrical issues, get the power inverter wired, install the new grill, replace the battery terminals, and then we're gonna work on the headliner and get that up and done today too. So sit back, smoke a doobie, chill out, whatever you gotta do. Let's get started.
Whew, man. Does it look like I've been working? It's because I have. But when I get done working and I want to take a break, you know what I do? I play Hunting Clash. It's the most realistic and exciting hunter-based game. Hunting Clash has some of the most realistic and beautiful graphics of any game on the market. I've actually been to a lot of the places that feature in the game, and not only is the scenery accurate in the game, but it's freaking gorgeous, man. Look at this. And I think because of the way things are right now, it's kind of nice to be able to go explore these beautiful places without actually having to leave the comfort of your own home. And not to mention you don't have to pay expensive travel costs, right? But there's a variety of weapons to choose from and upgrades available. And not only can you upgrade your weapon and your hunting dog, also be sure to check out the weekly shooting competitions. That way you can test yourself against other shooters and improve your accuracy, stuff like that. You'll also be able to hunt more dangerous and exciting animals and experience the raw nature at the palm of your hands. You can use the coupon code DOITWITHDAN and click the link in my description. Use only my link, all right? It's special to me. It helps support the channel when you download it. It's much appreciated. And you'll get 100 gold, 70 skill tokens, 2 mythical lure cards, which is a $15 value. So I know you guys will check it out. I really appreciate it. Please, again, click the link in the description, coupon code DOITWITHDAN, all the good stuff. I also want to say thank you, Hunting Clash, for supporting the channel, and happy hunting. Now, let's get back to work.
All right, so first things first, I'm gonna start working on the power inverter. I've already got it mounted to the floors, so now I just need to wire it. I'm using 4 gauge or AWG wire and a hydraulic crimping tool. Now, I bought this tool specifically for working on battery cables for the ambulance build when we were doing that, and never had a chance to use it. But now for this project, I can use it, and honestly, it was very easy to use. Would recommend getting one of these tools if you plan on doing anything with battery work. Then, after that, I ran the cables through 2 holes that I made in the firewall floor, and I installed grommets around those to keep the cables from getting serrated over time. Eventually, ended up using a sealant to completely seal off those holes so water and humidity didn't get in, and the cables wouldn't move around as much. I bought this grill online on Amazon. Can't remember how much I paid for it. It wasn't much. I plan on making my own front grill cover that's gonna go over this, and I'm gonna cut out most of the plastic, give it a really cool custom look, but that's not my priority right now. I just wanted to get something on there that looked good and get it registerable so I can drive it around a little bit more safely. Popped it on, wired it up, and it looks good. Good to go. All right, so I've got the power inverter basically wired up and ready to go. I just got to figure out how I'm going to attach it to the terminals of the battery. But the factory battery terminals on the wire side, not the battery side. These things, except on the battery, those things, I can't fucking remember what they're called. They're garbage on this truck. As a matter of fact, I think they're one of my biggest wiring issues. So I'm going to replace those before I 100% wire this to the battery, but it's already channeled through the firewall and, you know, wired underneath the carpets and the strips and whatnot. So this is wired and ready to go, and I do have the earth ground here as well. It's pretty much ready to go back together, but I think I'd like to do the headliner installed before I assemble the center console because it's gonna be a bitch to work around. So my buddy Shaq is gonna come back with me in a couple of days, and he's gonna help me install the Starlight and the new headliner that I got because I had to get a new headliner. We're gonna put that in, and that's gonna be done. And once the headliner is in, we can insert everything in here permanently, and the interior will be done because I have all new A pillars, C pillars, and B pillars for the car, floor trim and all this other stuff. That once headliner is in, center console goes in, seats go in, the trim goes in, and then the interior is 100% done, ready to roll, right? At that point, we only have like the rear bumper and the tailgate that we need to take care of. After that, I think the truck is registerable, I'm pretty sure. So my goal is gonna be to nut this thing up as quickly as I can, get it registered and drivable, because, you know, I still drive it without it being registered. And then I'm gonna consider the truck done, and then we'll just do like little here's and there's. Like I wanna do a roof rack, but I wanna nut the build up first before I start doing that stuff. I think you guys get that, right? One of the things that I've worked on and got done today is that I've been chasing wiring issue after wiring issue, and I'm getting them all kind of nutted up. There's only a few more left, but I fixed this today. So check this out, right? So this little button, that's my cargo lamps. And before they didn't turn on, but look at these. We got the cargo lamps on the outside. There's some spider webs, but these work. They're very bright, very cool. And then you have this back here, the actual cargo light and the, what's it called? The tail light, that's on. And this was the surprise that I really was excited about, that my bed lights, these turn on, which this is fascinating because I didn't plug these in, so cool. I'm gonna put a couple of extra lights in the bed to make it a little bit brighter. But yeah, I think the only other wiring issue that I have right now is that my tail lights don't work. Only like one tail light halfway works. Like the passenger side brake light only works, not the blinker, not the running light, but just the tail light itself. The driver's side doesn't work at all. And I think all those happened after I got done welding some shit, so that could be my fault, oops. But I'm probably gonna end up giving this to an electrical shop that does like specifically like diesel trucks, or maybe even just wiring for trucks, and be like, hey, can you help me? Because I'm tired of wiring issues. But I think that's really the last of the last. Oh yeah, and my toilet flooded again. I tell you guys, man, I take big dumpies. Another thing that was wrong with this truck was that the battery terminals looked like absolute garbage. They were so incredibly corroded that I was really surprised that they were even making a connection to begin with. Out by removing and stripping all the battery cable terminals and then replacing them with either one of these battery terminals that I've bought here. Both of them are CNC'd aluminum, have expansion slots for things like power inverters or subwoofers. I highly suggest using either one of these, and I'll leave a link for them in the description so you guys can check those out. So as I was getting ready to upgrade the battery terminals on the spare battery, I realized that it was coming really close to the firewall on the ground side of things. Just because they're so big, I really didn't want the back of the battery touching the firewall. I don't want any sort of weird electrical problems with that, you know what I'm saying? So I decided to remove the last 2 expansion terminals by taking my saws onto them and just chopping them off. I did clean it up a little bit with a grinder after this. You can't tell that it was severed at all, and it looks really good. And most importantly, it fits without making a connection to the back wall. So, the power inverter should in theory work. Oh my God, it works. I'm just not used to getting things right on my first try. Let's see if she'll charge me phone. Boom. Fast charging too. That's great. My power inverter works. I mean, obviously I'm not loading it or anything like that, but our wiring works. I'm just not used to getting those kind of things right on the first try. That is fantastic. So I wonder if some of our battery connection issues we were having are done. We should be able to see how strong things are. Yeah, our batteries are a little dead, but that bitch cranked at less than 14 amps. That's impressive. See how the battery isn't in the range here between the 14 yet? This thing will notoriously not even bother hitting a lick until it's in like mid 14s, which to me sounds like we have a better connection to our batteries, which is hopefully eliminating a lot of the electrical issues. I've always kind of expected that the battery terminals had something to do with our electrical issues. Just, you know, it's kind of hard to confirm that. Here was the original one, rusty, or not rusty, but corroded as hell, and the wire looked very similar to that. So one thing at a time. I'm not sure if I'm gonna replace the positive cable on this because it does have a spot. It does have a little expansion slot on this side. Plus we went with the really nice negative terminal here, which also has the expansions, and we went with an expansion terminal on the spare battery as well. But we also have these expansion slots that I haven't used. So I don't think it's super necessary to replace the positive battery terminal on the driver's side just yet. I'm not running an amplifier yet. I'm not running any subwoofers, and I probably won't for a little while. Power inverter is wired up, ready to go. Tomorrow Shaq is coming over and we're gonna knock out the headliner. Oh, also, I went to go order these marker light wiring harnesses, and they're sold out, so I have to make my own of those. That'll be fun. Wait a second, wait a second, wait the fuck up, wait the fuck up. No way. Those are the blinkers. Held down the brake or accelerator before with an item. Oh my gosh. The brake lights work. This is fantastic. Let's see if the reverse lights work. All right, so now it's time to start the process of poking all the holes. My buddy Shaq came over, did the dots for me, and then I just proceeded to poke 800 holes with this skewer tool he let me borrow. Thanks, buddy. It was a really long, drawn-out procedure, very monotonous, so I hope you guys enjoy the high-speed footage. And before I put the headliner up completely, I need to go ahead and paint these handles black so they will match. I looked everywhere online and could not find these handles in factory color in black. So I did the next best thing and I dyed them with my Doopy color spray. This isn't a sponsorship, a partnership or anything like that. They haven't paid me any money. I just really like this particular product It works really good for dyeing any sort of plastic or vinyl. Highly recommend. It's easy to use, it dries quickly, very effective. I've used it a lot in this truck.
All right, the headliner is officially 100% in. You guys can't really see shit, but I've got all the handles in, and I've got the top center console. I don't know what else to call it, but that's got your garage door buttons, your sunroof buttons, which those work now, your rear window button, which works now, and garage door buttons and a couple other stuff. But that is the top center thing. You can hold sunglasses in there, 10% off all HeatwaveVisual sunglasses using the coupon code DOITWITHDAN. They can fit in there, but it's all done. It all runs behind this trim panel, right? And then I'll have to find a good place to stash the motor, which I think I'm just gonna put behind here-ish. I'm gonna turn off the lights and turn on the lights. Camera isn't doing a great job picking it up. Oh man, I'm so happy with this. God, I miss this. This is my favorite part about this truck. And it goes all the way. You have to really get up on it. But you can brush it, you can clean it, you can touch it. It's just like the Rolls Royce ones. I worked so fucking hard to get this looking as good as it is. And it's got this really cool negative space here. Just really over the moon about it, really proud of this. This is the second time that I've done this headliner. This time I did it 100% pretty much by myself. I had my buddy Shaq come out and do the dots for me, but the rest of it I did, and fucking A, will I never do it again. This is the last time by myself, because this is such hard work. It is a ridiculous amount of work to do this. It's worth it for fucking sure. Don't let me deter you guys because it's a lot of work, and that's always been my motto, you know, it's just work. But this is a lot of work. When you take it, it might not be that big of a deal for a smaller car, but for this truck, this is 800 pieces. So you have to poke 800 holes, you have to glue 800 holes, and you have to trim 800 fibers, and then you have to hide 800 fibers. I think the previous kit that we had in here was only 500. So this is 300 more than the previous kit, and man, does it show. God, I can't believe how good this looks. Let me get the remote. I don't know, wherever I put it, it's dark as shit, I can't see. See if these come right on. Oh yeah, look at those work great. I like the white the best. I think the white Starlight looks a lot like the Rolls Royce. And you can turn the motor speed. I can make it go as fast as I can make the motor go fast. God, that looks good. Blue. I like blue a lot. Green. Green looks green. I'm not really a fan of green anything, to be honest. Not my jam. Red's good. It's a little dark. Then you have every color in between, you know. I really like the purple. I like these purples a lot. I don't want to say the best, but I like them a lot. It might not look like it on video, but that's pretty damn bright. Alright guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. I want to say thank you guys for watching, thank you guys for subscribing, liking, sharing, all that shit. If you guys would do that. I also want to say thank you again for Hunting Clash for sponsoring today's video. It really helps out with the channel. Much appreciated. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.